Good afternoon. This is Carolyn, and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I am going to do a quick layout share today. I need to get these put in albums and check them off my list. And so I think I'm just going to do a layout share today. And I'm not absolutely positive. There actually may be two or three in here that I did in a previous layout share. I don't know why they would still be in my tray, but when I picked up part of them, I thought I'd already done that. But anyway, we're going to do a layout share today. This first one is like one of the most recent layouts I've done, Grandparents' Day at my son's boys' school. And this was a really fun one. I did this for Blooms Around the World. And just to show you, you can use stuff that is so old. This paper, there's the background, is from an old paper pad. It's flimsy. It's from an old paper that I'll guarantee you is 20 years old. I put a little bit of mixed media on it. I framed it. And this is one of my favorite layouts that I've done lately. I used some embellishments that are going to come out in a swap here in a few weeks. I used some old not old, but some of my 49 and Market. So I put some newer things in with the old. These frames are 49 and Market. Just cut some alphas with my Sizzix, my die cut. And I love this layout. I really like the way it turned out. This one, again, some of this stuff, like this, there's no telling how long I've had this because it came in a bunch of stuff I got in a garage sale. And I didn't even have any kiddos in baseball at that time. And so I hung on to it, and sure enough, here it is. This is just a die cut that I had laying around that I stuck in there. I love this pillow ticking material, and I really like it with baseball stuff. So I cut a couple of tags, did my journaling, another tag with a little more journaling. This is just a ticket out of a baseball collection that I had, but I love this one. I like the way it turned out. They had just won a championship game, and that was pretty neat. And this is my daughter's son and then my son's son. They played on the same All-Stars team, and they both got a game ball that day for playing so well. This one is just a fun one. I'm not sure I think it does have, let me see if I have anything on the back. Nope, just some additional journaling. But I think I did this one maybe for another, like movies around the world or something like that we did. But this is my daddy. He was a World War II veteran, and they have a wall in Childress, Texas, and he's showing that his name and his brother's names are on that wall. And this is my dad and stepmom's 50th wedding anniversary, me with my daddy. I was so hot and sweaty from setting up from everything. This is my daughter and her husband, and they weren't even, that was like, I think they were engaged then. And then my daughter with her grandpa. But I love this page. I don't have all that many pictures of my daddy, so this is a very precious page to me. This one, I know I have a video on it. This is adoption day for my daughter's youngest son, and really a special day. This is my son-in-law's parents and me, and then my daughter and her husband and their 4 boys and the judge. But this was a really special day. This is some, I forgot what this, I bought a packet of this, and I forgot what the brand was. P13 maybe, I don't remember. And then these are these were clear stickers that I had I've got a whole folder of them, or a whole little booklet of them, and I don't use them much, and so I mounted it so that it wasn't clear. I think this came on something that I got from Shannon Keith maybe. So anyway, that one. This one, this is one of those, I think I did do a video on this, and I said I don't I need to get that out of there. I don't do things on myself very often, but this is when I won Counselor of the Year for the state of Texas. And so my daughter and I went to Austin to a big thing where I received that honor. And oh, this was a note to say that that this typewriter embellishment was made by Linda Phelps, and the hourglass was made by Christine Bryant, and the story, where is that? This little thing was made by Michelle Parks. That's why I had that little note on there. But I don't do things on me very often, but this one. And then I've got to do it. Oh, I did do it. So I have to do it again. So here's the other one. I did have the clock to use for that element up there. I just kind of copied that one. It wasn't from a sketch or anything. It's just one I did. But I copied it because I have to have one for my daughter's scrapbook and one for my son's scrapbook. They both wanted one. So there's that. Oh, this is Mallory Aubry. Made the lady. Isn't she gorgeous? I got that in a swap. And this is my daughter at she is an administrator for TEA online charter school. And they have a gala each year. And, I've got to there. And this was her. She and her husband spent the night like in the town where they do this. It's here in the Metroplex. But anyway, I just loved that lady. So I incorporated some maroon in with this, even though she's in blue. I like the maroon with it. And I wanted to use that lady. This is just a fun one. This was the second grade field trip. And my daughter went with my grandson. I didn't get to go. I could have gone, but I didn't get to go. I had something that I had to do. And but these are some pictures from his field trip. And then this is from an achievement, like gaining so much in his reading that he won in that picture. But I just loved I like the little check. These are like, this is a 6x6, and this is from a 6x6. And then this was a frame. Again, I'm using my old stuff. And this is, I believe, Shannon Keith made this, and I got that in an embellishment swap. And then this is my die. So I took his little arms off and put this die in there. You know, we always say, once you get your embellishments, they're yours to do whatever you want to do with. And so I just kind of added that little "you did it" because there's his achievement stuff. And I put the "celebrate" on there. But yes, the boy, and this little boy is made by Beverly Morrison, and that came in a swap. And then I just added the little tickets because they did go like to the zoo, or no, they went to Perot Museum, I think. And then the rabbit was Shannon Keith. This just goes with that. Oh, no, this goes with this one. This is my grandson's they graduate from 4th grade because they leave to go to the upper elementary. And so this was his graduation certificate. And then here is his graduation day. And another swap embellishment. This was Children Around the World swap, I believe. And Ginger made that one. And then here's my grandson in line coming out like the processional. This is when they introduced him with his little bio stuff up on the big screen. Here he is with his teacher. He's holding his certificate upside down. And this was from a swap also. I don't think this had a name on it. But anyway, I used that or maybe that was just something that I had. This is something that I had from a long time ago. This was what I had. But I used that to do my journaling on. And again, this is from I think that same old paper pack that other background was from. I just added a little border punch there. I put my title down the side on this one. Added a little bit more of that border punch there. This was VBS a few years ago, like several years ago, like 2017. Jody S. made the little spaceship. And I think I got this in a swap too, but it didn't have who made it written on it, I don't think. No, it didn't, or I would have put it on there. This is from just a piece of paper that I cut out. These are stars that I punched, and then I punched some also out of the tags and then put some on the tags. This was the embellishment I made for the one that we did for space stuff. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was a long time ago. And this was the embellishment I made, and then this was one I got from Jody S. But my friends and I do the snacks for VBS. You can tell I'm hoarse, can't you? I do the snacks for VBS, and so it was the title of VBS was Starveyors. So we made these cupcakes with homemade star cookies in them. There's some of our cookies, some other things that we did. And again, I have to do two because I have two different sets of grandsons. So this one, they're almost exactly alike. This one was also, I believe, from her, maybe. I think they all came from Jody. But I did the tags pretty much the same way. This one didn't have a name on it, or it may have been with those things that Jody sent. But it's very similar. I think I'm going to stop here and do the twist. The twist today comes from Psalms 33, verses 10 through 12. And it says, "The Lord destroys the plans and spoils the schemes of the nations. But what the Lord has planned will stand forever. His thoughts never change. The Lord blesses each nation that worships him only. He blesses his chosen ones." And the reason I chose that is because it just seems to me that our nation is moving further and further and further from God. Our culture it's used to, I can remember when I was younger, everybody might not go to church, but they respected you if you did, and things were closed on Sunday, and we didn't have Little League ball games on Sunday or Wednesday night even. And anymore, it's like nobody cares. And our churches, many of them are almost empty. But we've stopped worshiping God as a nation, and we worship money and pleasure and power and on and on. And those things are just way more important to us than God is. And when we, as a nation, of course, individually, many of us still do, but when we, as a nation, forsake God, we're just on a path to destruction. My challenge to you is, you just find a nation anywhere in history, from the beginning of time, you find a nation that worshiped God faithfully. And did they fall while they were worshiping God faithfully? And I will tell you, I taught history for years and years. You will not find one. Think about our own history. We sailed across a sea from one of the mightiest empires in the world, the British Empire, from England. And we came across and we started a nation, and then we had a revolution because we didn't think they were treating us fairly. And there is no way in the world our nation should have won that revolution against England. But God spoiled the plans of that nation, and he blessed the nation that worshiped him. And so verse 12 in that just tells us that God blesses each nation that worships him only. So my prayer is that we as a nation will turn back to God and serve him and worship him only. And then we have nothing to fear. But until then, I feel like, are just on a path to destruction. All right, that's it. This is number 41, my daughter's 41st birthday, and this is my youngest grandson, and their birthdays are just 2 days apart in November. And so this one was for her, and This was from a swap, and I don't know who did it. Didn't have that. I wish people would put their names on things so that we can give them credit. And then I added these little flowers and all of the little flourishes. And I actually have some, we didn't have champagne, but be cute with these. I actually have some champagne glass little brads that I may add to this now that I see that. But anyway, it says, then came number 41. Again, using old papers. And I say that every time, but I do not buy new things. I have so much stuff. I made her cake. It turned out really cute. That I just can't, and I can't afford. So I use old things. This is Christmas of 2021. We had just started back to church, back in the end, I guess, of 2020. And the boys were all dressed in little blue jeans and in their vests. And so I did this with a blue background, just using scraps. And again, these were some those, dimensional flower stickers that, embellishments that I had stuck in my drawer for ages and ages. And so I just pulled them out and said, this is where they're going to go. I cut some of these flourishes. They're similar to the ones in that last one, but they won't go by each other in the book, so it doesn't even matter. This is my son and his family, and then all 6 of the boys. And then this is Easter. This grandson, he's the next to the oldest of my daughters. He's actually the third to the oldest overall, but he loves to make scrapbook things. And I think I still have the layout that he did in here, and I've already showed it to you, I know. But he made this, and so I wanted to use it. So I used it for Easter of 2024. We always have Easter at my daughter's in-laws' house. And I just wanted to play off of this. So this was a little Easter basket. Let's see if I have written. Nope. I did this for a categories challenge on Ginger's Corner, but I don't know who made this little basket, but it was from a hop. And then I just added these things. I added those behind it just to kind of tie in these little flowers, just to tie in that embellishment that he had made. So I definitely wanted to use it. I know Mallory O'Brien made this one. This is that same Easter. This is the Easter egg hunt. And my daughter had done this scavenger hunt, and at each stage of the scavenger hunt, it had a scripture, and they had to answer questions. It was just awesome. This was also from, I wish I had them written who those were. This was also from a hop, and this little thing, and then I added my own blessed in there, also from hops. But I usually put a sticker on here if they have who did them. Almost seems like this was Sherry, though. I don't remember. And then just added all of the greenery and the twigs to dress up that really pretty title. This was my son's 2 boys. They were making some blocks for their mom that I think we were going to give her for Mother's Day. This was in February, but we gave her these for either Valentine's but I think it was for Mother's Day. And so I did this is one I made for a swap about crafting, and a crafter's work is never done. So I thought that was perfect for this layout with the boys. And they've got my old t-shirts on to keep them from getting paint and everything. They did a really cute job on this. This was like back in 2020. And then these crayons I cut out of something to put on there just as embellishments. And I put some of them on foam so they're dimensional. This is a frame, one of those old frames that I use all the time. These are some 6x6. No, this is from a 6x6 that I cut down. This is just some scraps. There's the other part of that frame. And then the mixed media on the background, I just did the packaging technique just to make it messy, to look like they were doing a messy job, which they really didn't. This one is just my son and his oldest son, and this is like back in, I surely have the date on here, 2020 also, and they were at the Deer Lease fishing some really nice lakes on their Deer Lease, and this was a title that we did, I think 3 Wishes. I think this was from the 3 Wishes that we did back on Ginger's Corner a good while ago, and I needed boy things, and someone sent me this really neat fishing title, and it had this heart with it, and so I added that, added the little canoe, put the trees along in there, just out of scraps. You can tell they've got all different colors, and these little fish, and this little fishing pole came from something that, this is from Painted Pages, and then I added the little hat to it, because my son and my grandson both have those kind of hats on. This was, seems like this was from something that we did on Ginger's Corner also. I don't know. I cleaned out behind my cabinet that I love. If you see my Let's Get Organized videos, you've seen my cabinet that has all the drawers. It's amazing. But this little die cut is the cutest die cut, and I have lost the little thing of lights that go with it. Do not, hopefully they will turn up, because I love this little gingerbread die cut. But I have lost those little lights that go with it. It just makes me sick. But scraps, just put on a red background. This was a branding strip, and then I put 2 of those little felt runners, like washi tape runners that I have. No, this was not a branding strip. This was washi tape, and then I put those little felt runner things that you've seen me use several times on each side of it, just to draw attention to it. These are also just some little die cuts. This was a clear sticker, and I just backed it, and then the little cookies. These are just cut on my little Cricut with the shadow background, but these are my daughter's boys. We do gingerbread houses every year, and they love to make their gingerbread houses and then eat them. This is my oldest grandson's birthday, and that's weird. It's on, I started to say, I always have journaling, and I didn't have it, but it's over here. This was his 8th birthday back in 2020. My daughter always makes their cakes. I made all of my kids' cakes, and she is just amazing with her cake making. Here's the whole thing to see it a little better with the truck, the kind of diving board, or the pier, not a diving board, the pier out over the water, and then the boat. She did an amazing job. This is something I got in a swap. This is a die cut, just a little inexpensive die cut. This is another die cut, one of those little frames that I just pull out of my drawer. This was some rickrack that I had stuck in, and it just happened to match, so I used it. And this is like, you've seen me use these flower punches over and over again. I love those flower punches. I use them a lot. So 8th birthday. And then this is the second page to it, because his birthday is in August, and so we usually do it at my daughter's in-laws, and they have a really nice pool and outdoor living area on the back of, or actually the side of their house. And so I did the ladder, and I had this in my stuff again, and these water splashes forever and a day. This is a Project Life, like a Project Life card, and I just drew the lines on it to use it for my journaling. And this was in a packet of little titles that I got, and I mean thin, but I got them at Scrapbook Convention one of the first years we went, but they were having a blast at the pool. This is my sister and I on what I call the graduation cruise. Her daughter had just graduated from high school. My best friend had a granddaughter that had just graduated from high school, and then one that was going to graduate in 2 years. So she took both of them. And then my other best friend had a granddaughter that was about to graduate. So we just took all 4 of those girls and the 4 of us, and we went on a graduation cruise. We took them, I think we went to Jamaica, Grand Cayman. We left out of Galveston. That was it. We did Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Cozumel, and then back to Galveston. But my sister and my friend, these are some, these feathers are just a die cut that I have. I need to get these in the page protectors and get them in the books. Like this is starting to get bent up. This is a punch, and this all was on the paper. This is one of those things where you just kind of take the cue from your paper, but it had these like dark pink outlines of this flower, and I thought I need to do something to dress that up. So I just did die cuts and put it on top of that, and I loved how that worked out. This was back in 2012. My sister borrowed one of my dresses. This is one of my absolute favorite layouts. This is my husband being baptized. I know you've heard me say this before, but I spent 40 years in the wilderness. Excuse me. I met my husband in college. He was much skinnier then. And he was not a Christian, and I wasn't living my best Christian life. We fell in love. I actually broke up with him because I knew that I would want to live a different life when I settled down. But then we went back together and we got married and had our children, but he did not go to church with us. And there were times when he got mad at me for going and taking them so much. But it paid off. Even though I got weary and gave up and gave out at times, the Lord was so faithful, and he became a Christian, and absolutely watched that man transform overnight. He went from being a cusser and a drinker to being at church every time the doors were open. Even if for some reason I wasn't home or didn't go, was sick or something, he was there. It was absolutely, just saw God work in that man's life. Was amazing. And I stuck this in with it. My husband got sick. He got saved before he got sick, and he passed away. But we were in a coffee shop here in town. And if you saw this video, this has a video, I told this story. But my husband had told our pastor that he had accepted the Lord and that he wanted to be baptized, and he needed to make his public profession of faith and everything. And so we were sitting at this coffee shop talking about it. And at that time, he had already gotten sick, and we were waiting on a bone marrow transplant and going through some chemo and things like that. But he had gotten saved before that. And a man overheard us that was sitting in there. He paid our ticket. We didn't know he did this until it was time for us to leave, and he was already gone. But he paid our ticket, and he wrote this note on a ticket. And he says, "Don't lose faith. Keep up the fight. Live on and live on." And that meant so much to me and my husband. I just hope the Lord blesses that man, because he will never know what a blessing he was to us. This, I made this, but this came from a swap. I just added a little bit to it. This is a little envelope I'd had forever, stuck a ticket and a little tag thing in it, stuck some plaid behind my journaling, added some more enamel dots to my tickets. But this layout, I love it. I love it. And then this is the one that my grandson just wanted to do. He basically did a base page. If you're watching base pages, he basically just did a base page. And he tore these and inked them and then put the trees. And I had been making these crosses for cards that we send out in our ministry to our homebound people. And he wanted to make one of those crosses. And so he did, and then he put it at the center of his layout. And so I took a couple of pictures of him making this. I mean, he did it. He did it himself, of him making this and holding his final piece. And I love this layout because he made it. All right, that's it. That is my layout share. I don't know how many there were in there, but I got to get these put away because I have a tendency, like the other day, I had a layout nearly ready to put together. I was gathering everything up. I thought, I sure feels like I have done this before. Sure enough, thank goodness, I looked in the album and I had. So sometimes I do those things. I'm sure you've done them too if you've done very much scrapbooking. So I've got to get these put in the albums so that I know I have them done and don't make some foolish mistake like that. So I just thank you so much for dropping by today and for watching this video and sharing some time with me. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. But just have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.